Tonight, the Bulldogs will try to upset the Crimson Tide, a team that has been the surprise of the Southeastern Conference. And welcome to SEC Network Basketball, presented by Sun Life Financial. We are inside Coleman Coliseum, where Alabama fans are all smiles after another excellent football recruiting class here on National Signing Day. But we turn our attention to some great basketball. The Tide hosting Mississippi State, and it's all coming up in a matter of moments. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Neal, alongside my partner Joe Dean. Glad you could be with us. And Joe, how about this Alabama basketball team? Perhaps a surprise of the SEC at this point, especially after they got off to a 5-6 start. Right now they're 5-1, best record in the conference, and they beat Mississippi State by 18 earlier this year.
But they know that this is not the same Mississippi State team that they beat easily in Starkville 3.5 weeks ago. Mississippi State coming off a big win against the Florida Gators on Saturday. Very talented. This is a huge game, Dave, for both teams in deciding who's going to make a run at the Western Division title.
Right. Well, both of these clubs have excellent starting five. Let's pick a couple of guys on our Star Watch.
Well, the matchup of the
Grant in his second year as the head coach of the Tide. His fifth year overall, 106-47, 30-22 here at Alabama, 2-1 against Mississippi State. And Joe Dean, he has found a way to get his guys to believe, to buy in that defense will give you a chance every single night.
Well, they're the best defensive team in the SEC, Dave, giving up about 57 points a game. And that's the strength of the Alabama team. They're athletic. They really get after you. He thinks they need to continue to improve their rebounding, and Mississippi State's an athletic team. We'll watch the rebounding battle tonight on the boards.
Referees tonight, Tony Green, who will toss it up, Anthony Jordan and Mike Nance.
Well, a lot of speculation that Mississippi State might zone tonight on the road against Alabama, who is the worst three-point shooting team in the SEC. But Rick Stansbury told us before the game tonight that he's tired of playing zone. That's not the way he likes to coach, and he's going to challenge his guys to play effective man-to-man defense, and the opening foul against Renardo Sidney is not a good sign.
11 seconds into the game, and Renardo picks up his first foul. Let's take a look at some keys for this one, Joe.
Well, Mississippi State is a team that really needs to push the ball in transition. They like to do that. They have good speed. They want to be aggressive offensively. And the key for them, they have a 153-point shot on the season, one of the tops in the league. They got to shoot the ball well from the outside. And, Dave, it was kind of interesting. We were talking with Greg Ellis, the SID for State before the game, in the Florida game. Only 4 players from Mississippi State scored the 71 points that they had to beat the Gators.
Here's a quick turnover. Relaford chased by Bina. Turnovers. This Alabama defense can create some turnovers.
Very aggressive
in the game.
Yeah, very aggressive in the passing lane. You see it.
Mitchell lays it up. The assist to Relaford.
Well, we talked about Trevor Relaford in the Star Watch from Kansas City, Missouri. He's just a talented ball handler, very smart, good savvy for a young player.
Sidney taps in his own miss. The Alabama bench erupts, thinking he got his hand on the basketball when it was still on top of that cylinder. Davis off to Green, to Michael. A little shoulder fake inside, and that is number 2 on Renardo Sidney. 1 minute, 20 seconds of play, and we've picked up 2 fouls on Sidney.
Boy, this is a tough decision right here for Rick Stansbury. Is he going to leave Renardo Sidney in the game? He's going to have, if he leaves him in, he's going to have to go zone, Dave, I believe, but they're going to take him out.
Here comes Wendell Lewis. Let's take a look at some keys for Alabama as Renardo heads to that bench.
Well, Alabama to win consistently, they have to play to their strengths, and their strengths are defense and the rebounding. If Mississippi State does go to the zone, which I anticipate they will, they need to attack the big people inside as they just did with Jermichael Green. And then on the offensive end, just run their offense, try to find some good looks from the perimeter. They're not a good three-point shooting team, although they made 7 out of 14 in the win over Kentucky.
There's D-Boss getting welcome to Coleman Coliseum with the Bluebirds here on the road. But D can play some basketball, in and out. Charvez Davis, the senior out of Montgomery, Alabama, knocks down his 43rd three of the year. A 9-2 start for the Tide, and a foul. Will that be 2 or 3? We will wait to see what Tony Green tells us. Two-shot foul. And that'll send Rayburn Johnson to the free throw line.
Well, the best shooter for the Alabama Crimson Tide is a senior, Charvez Davis. We'll get it in early, Dave Neal. A little string music here in Coleman Coliseum.
That was a perfect call for some string music.
Yes, it was. Well, we had some string music before the game in the national anthem, didn't we? A little 8-year-old youngster played the violin to the tune of the national anthem.
I worked with him before he got going.
You're good, but that was pure string music before the game. Excuse me, Dave. State's going to stay man-to-man. If Sydney comes back, I would think they'll play zone. Nice double on the low post.
Boss nearly had a steal. Relaford, strong move to the basket.
And that's how Alabama needs to play offensively. Aggressive, on the dribble. They're not the great facing shooting team you'd like to see, but they do penetrate well and use their athleticism to get to the lane and score close in.
Turnover, we'll give it back to Alabama.
Miscommunication there by D-Boss and the sophomore postman Wendell Davis, a youngster out of Selma, Alabama. You see him communicating there. Wendell Davis is going to have to step up and be an offensive threat for the Bulldogs.
Alabama 10th in the conference in scoring at 67.5 points a game. They have won with defense. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Bulldogs. It'll belong to the Crimson Tide. And talking to Anthony Grant today, he asked him about his ball club. And the first thing is, he doesn't really talk about defense because I think we all understand they play good defense. He says, we've got to be more effective, efficient on offense. Quit throwing the ball away.
Exactly.
It's number one priority.
Yeah, and you hear coaches say that a lot. Take care of the basketball. You have to value the ball and value every possession that you have. There we go.
That possession goes for naught. Here's D-Boss back the other way.
Nice help right there. Double teaming and getting the ball out of Boss' hands by Jermichael Green to help her.
Knocked out of bounds by Green. It'll belong to the Bulldogs. 19 on the shot clock.
You can just see how effective Anthony Grant's defense is. Challenging ball screens, very aggressive on the ball, in the passing lanes, and they help each other out very, very well off the basketball.
One of the best shooters you will see in the country, Rayburn Johnson, who was 3rd in the conference in scoring. If he gets it going, watch out. Nice move inside. How about Relaford tonight?
I tell you, he is so good, so crafty with the basketball, and just going by D-Boss and getting to the lane and finding ways to finish the play.
6 points for Relaford. Here's Boss.
Notice how defensively they don't leave their feet, Dave. They stay on the floor, and it pays off in the block right there.
Up ahead to Green. One-handed flush. Tony Mitchell bringing the house down here at Coleman Coliseum. Timeout, Bulldogs. Defense creating some offense.
It absolutely does. Charvez Davis with the rejection on the defensive end against Beanock. Pushes the ball ahead. Nice 2-on-1 pass. And the finish by Tony Mitchell. Again, Beanock with a good move. Great recovery. And then watch the great assist by Jermichael Green to Tony Mitchell, who plays a little stufferino on his offensive basket.
Bama already with 9 fast break points.
Yeah, 13 points in the paint. You know, it's like we're going to mention a little football tonight. It's signing day. What the heck? You know, it's usually the football team that rushes the ball the most and the best wins football games. In basketball, it's the team that gets the most points in the paint. High percentage, close in, and so far, Alabama paint.
(15-7) game. Alabama out in front. There's some pressure as Scenario Hillman checks into the game for Alabama. And Hillman out hustles Augustus, and then a foul on Cody, diving for the loose basketball. That will take us to our first timeout of the game with 15:31 to go in the opening half. Alabama is up 15-7.
145 years of financial stability, and still no one knows the Sun Life Financial name. That changes today.
I hear you're the clown in charge.
So, Cirque du Soleil becomes Cirque du Sun Life. Because Soleil means sun.
I'll
Take that as a yes.
Sooner or later, you'll know our name, Sun Life Financial.
Game day is upon us, a showcase for the best, for those with pride and passion who rise above the rest. It's a day of magic moments when every second counts, and game day's even better when Papa's in the house.
As the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 45, Papa John's brings quality to the millions with all large pizzas just $10. Now through Super Bowl Sunday at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Avalon with Deposit Shield. The deposits that attack your engine every time you drive can cause friction, robbing it of performance and fuel efficiency. Avalon shields it. Because a clean engine runs better. Defend your engine. Avalon with Deposit Shield.
15-7, Alabama off to a good start against the Bulldogs. Time now for a look at our Haviland defensive shield, and a perfect night for this, which you look at the numbers by Alabama, and some of those are among the top 5 in the country.
Well, no question about it. Not only the scoring, but the field goal defense means they are contesting shots all the time. We've already seen that. And then the steals. Relaford's a big part of that, as is Scenario Hillman, who is in the top in steals, and Tony Mitchell as well.
Here's a look at some of that defense created tonight on the defensive end by Alabama.
Well, the double team on the ball screen, and Relaford just gets a piece of it, goes down, lays it in. He's already 3 for 3. You see him play in the passing lane. Again, another deflection, and the great assist to Tony Mitchell. And then we already saw the Charvez Davis block, which creates a 2-on-1 break at the other end. Great pass by Jermichael Green, and Tony Mitchell finishes the play.
You know, Mississippi State's been pretty good at holding on to the basketball this year. They're 4th in the conference, a little over 13 turnovers a game.
And the change at the timeout, Rick Stansberry decides to go to the 2-3 zone, and already a turnover. He did this, Dave, in the game in Oxford against Ole Miss. They were a decided underdog coming off the 18-point home loss to Alabama. Goes into Oxford, plays zone the entire game very effectively, and they come away with a huge road win in that game, and it's kind of gotten their season going a little bit.
Here's Peanut. Nice little pass to Augustus. Cody spins. Lewis, big rebound and putback. He'll step to the free throw line. Nice offensive rebound by Wendell Lewis, who's playing for Renardo Sidney, who picked up 2 fouls in the first minute and 20 seconds.
Well, this is big. If Wendell Davis can step up and play big with Renardo Sidney on the bench with 2 fouls, it would really give the Bulldogs a lift. He's from Alabama, a youngster out of Selma, and has a lot of upside. Has not really maximized his potential yet in his sophomore season, but has a lot of ability.
Tell you what, though, he likes playing Alabama. He had a season-best 10 points against the Tide in that first meeting. 5 out of 6 from the floor, 5 rebounds. Knocks that free throw home, gets 1 out of 2. 15-8, 7-point lead for the Tide. Relaford tries to save it. Mitchell will catch it. Hillman will set it up now with 20 on the shot clock.
We'll see if they can get the ball inside to Mitchell or JaMychal Green and attack Lewis, who's playing the middle of that zone.
Hillman kicks it out to Davis.
Well, that's the shot that Rick Stansbury wants to get out of the zone. But zone buster, Charvez Davis just knocking it down. He is the best shooter on the state team.
Relaford just picked Beanock's pocket. Augustus with the block. The follow won't go, and Beanock will corral it.
Great recovery by Cody Augustus to block that shot by Trevor Relaford, who has his 3rd steal in the game, really doing the job on the defensive end, playing the passing lanes.
Bosk, Augustus, baseline, jumpers perfect.
Cody Augustus, one of the most improved players in the SEC this year, doing a tremendous job for Rick Stansbury's team, rebounding the basketball, and he's a definite offensive threat stepping out on the floor.
You know, you and I can go back a couple of years ago. He was shaky ground over there.
No question.
We didn't know if he'd finish his career in Mississippi State, but he certainly has, and what a difference he has made this year. Last touch by Augustus.
Well, he's a classic example, is Cody Augustus, Dave, of a guy that has hung in and stayed the course, listened to his coach. He's improved. Players get better every year if they work hard, and that's what's happened to Cody Augustus, youngster out of Baton Rouge.
11 on the shot clock for the Crimson Tide.
The zone defense slows down the offense, designed to keep the ball out on the perimeter.
Relaford, the assist to Tony Mitchell for his 2nd dunk tonight. Bosk from 18 knocks it down.
Maybe as good as any player in the league in shooting off the dribble. And you see what Alabama tried to do that time off the made basket. Run the ball down the floor and beat the zone down.
Loose ball. Picked up by Relaford. 2-on-2. Relaford wanted the shot out of the corner, but Hillman said, no, let's just set it up. Relaford's feeling it tonight.
He really is, and he penetrated nicely, split the 2 guards out front, brought the postman up to him and dumped it off for the easy dunk for Tony Mitchell. Mississippi State's got to match up on him and not let him penetrate that zone.
Shot clock at 5. Green misfires. Wendell Lewis, big rebound over Tony Mitchell.
That's the shot the zone wants. They want the Alabama bigs to step out on the floor and shoot from the perimeter. Takes a rebounder off of the glass.
Foul on the floor against the Crimson Tide. Alabama's lead is 8, 20-12. We'll come back to Coleman Coliseum after this.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
It's game time. And everyone wants to get their hands on new Crystal Game Time wings. The best wings in the game. Hard-hitting flavors and winning taste make any time game time. New Crystal Game Time wings. The meatiest, juiciest wings in the game. Hands down. Only from Crystal. Try some today. Nothing like it.
Thursday, I trusted you. Sometimes friendship turns ugly.
Why are you doing this to me?
Sometimes families, I can help you, but you need to trust me, have issues.
What do you do?
Kill him. The Vampire Diaries.
Thursday at 7 on CW21.
matter what happens, I can always count on you, right, Sammy?
Yeah. Of course, Dane. Supernatural.
Following SEC basketball tonight.
Let's see, Les? Oh, looks like you qualify for a good student discount.
Wes, taking driver's ed gets you a driver training discount.
And Mom, you more than qualify for a multi-car discount.
No matter what's your situation, your Alpha agent has a customized policy that's priced just right.
And Jess, pass your test, we'll sign you up too.
We're always right there with you, looking out for your well-being and your wallet. For a plan built just for you by a local agent, call Alpha.
Alabama up 8, 20-12, 11:58 to play here in the opening half, and Alabama has been very efficient offensively on many of their possessions tonight.
And one of the ways they want to try to attack the zone is setting some ball screens out front for Trevor Relaford. You see the screen right there. He's nice right to the middle. Now stop right there. You see number 30, Wendell Davis, has to step up the lane to stop him. And behind Davis is number 1, Tony Mitchell, actually 5, Tony Mitchell, who steps behind the zone on the baseline, gets the bounce pass from Relaford and finishes the play. Nice offensive execution by Anthony Grant's team against the zone.
6 assists on 8 field goals for Alabama tonight. Mississippi State, Rayburn Johnson, high arching shot, no good, tapped around. Finally yanked out of there by Andrew Steele. Steele just checks into the game. Boy, Alabama dominating that statistic points in the paint by 13. The Tide have been very good in that department. They average about 14 more points per game in the paint. Hillman could have added to that total, but misses the follow-up jam. Brian Bryant will run the point now for the Bulldogs as DeBost gets a breather.
Bryant's a junior college transfer from Northwest Florida State College, formerly Okaloosa Walton in Fort Walton Beach, actually Niceville, Florida.
Steele. Jump shot off the iron. Rebound to Hillman. Skip pass to Steele. Here's Green, the baseline. Alabama working that perimeter.
Trying to find Green inside.
Relaford. Shot clock at 7. Hillman's going to have to do something in a hurry. Off the back of the iron. Good stand by the Bulldogs.
Very good stand, Dave. They keeping the ball off of Jermichael Green. Inside, Wendell Davis. Very effective defensively. Forcing a tough shot contested and got the defensive rebound, holding Alabama to only 1 shot attempt.
You watch Alabama or Mississippi State play that zone, and you and I know Rick Stansbury well enough to know he's not a zone guy.
Not at all. He told me that before the game. He said, Joe, it's killing me to have to play zone. But, you know, you do what you have to do with the personnel that you have. And we all know that Mississippi State has struggled with their personnel issues throughout the year and got some young players.
A couple of guys lost sight of the shot clock, and the turnover by the Bulldogs is their 7th.
This shows you the importance of leadership on the floor. You had 2 young guys in Steele and Bryant out front. DeBost on the bench taking a rest and just lost sight of the shot clock.
You see what Alabama's done since Coach Stansbury implemented the zone. They've gone 5 minutes without a field goal, just 2 of 10.
And it makes you wonder if he had decided to do this to start the game, if Sydney would still be in the game.
Green. He'll step to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
You know, it's interesting. You're looking at Rick Stansbury right there. Alabama in the series, they've played about 180 some odd times in their history, and Alabama has a decided advantage in the Mississippi State-Alabama series. But Rick Stansbury, in his 12-plus years in Starkville, is 15-12 against Alabama. I think that's very impressive and shows you what a tremendous job that Rick Stansbury has done for a long period of time of sustaining excellence in the Mississippi State program.
John Reek, 7-footer, checks in for Mississippi State. You know, there were some great battles.
Oh, gosh. We've done some of them.
Oh, it's Coach Stansberry and Coach Gottfried matching wits. Both teams were ranked in top 25. I mean, just all-out battles on hardwood.
2004, Mississippi State came in here and won in double overtime to win the regular season championship. In the same year, Alabama went to the Final Eight.
Johnson couldn't get it to go. Here's Reek standing taller than everybody by a large margin. He just held it up over his head. Nobody could get it. Reek, the 7'1" center, and
surprised a little bit to see him in the game. But you can't coach tall, can you?
No, you cannot. You show up 7'1" every game.
That's right. When he puts his hands in the air, they're higher than everybody else.
Well, another Bulldog turnover. As Big John will head back the other way from
the Sudan, yeah. And we'll see if he can affect the zone defense with his length, shot blocking ability against the smaller Jermichael Green.
Davis trying for his third three, in and out. Here comes Steele back the other way. Beanock, they left him open. Kicks it out. Bost buries it.
Anthony Grant can't believe they left D. Bost that wide open. A breakdown defensively. Players are talking to themselves right now out on the floor because they know that's totally unacceptable.
Beanock comes up with a basketball. Mississippi State only down 7. Here's D. Bost averaging 18 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 6 assists per contest. Misfires.
Not the way you want to play offense. 1-on-4. Do it all by yourself. Bost needs to run the offense and let the ball come back to him.
Steele flanks it off the iron. Here's a little run out.
Alabama very active with their hands. One of the top defensive teams in the league in steals.
Bost in the lane, kicks it out to Beanock. Riley nearly had it taken away. Bost, little runner in the lane. Count it for D. Bost, and he'll step to the free throw line. That's how the young man is averaging 18 points a game and 6 assists. When D. Bost is good, he is really good.
It's the end of the line for engine deposits. Haviland with Deposit Shield. The deposits that attack your engine every time you drive can cause friction, robbing it of performance and fuel efficiency. Haviland shields it, because a clean engine runs better. Defend your engine. Haviland with Deposit Shield.
Where'd you get that app?
Cellular South has countless free Android apps.
Do you mind? Oh. They're less down the street. See?
Where'd you get that app?
And only from Cellular South, the ever-evolving Discover Apps app helps you find the right apps for you.
That's really cool.
Buy one Android-powered Samsung Galaxy S, get one free, now at Cellular South.
Attention computer shoppers with past credit problems. If you've had past credit problems and want to make a change, call now. All you need is an active checking account and you're approved for our program. Bankruptcy, liens, divorce, or job loss, it doesn't matter. You're approved. We'll get you that new computer you always wanted and report on your credit so you can start to get it back on track. Call now and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and a free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and a free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gift shipped today.
At Town & Country Ford, our first 10 years were great, but we're going to set a record in 2011.
2011 Fusion's affordable for anyone at $199 a month.
2011 Edge, affordable at $239 a month.
Eli, take a look at the all-new 2011 Ford Explorer. Great selections arriving daily, and we're going to make them affordable.
Come see us today. We're making every Ford affordable during our Ford-a-thon at Town & Country Ford. Big town selection, low country prices.
After a hot start, Mississippi State has cooled off the Crimson Tide. They've inched back to within 5 And Alabama fans, be sure to plan your trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico now for the 5th annual Honda Puerto Rico Tip-Off, November 17th through the 20th. Watch the Crimson Tide battle teams such as Maryland, Temple, Purdue, and more. Visit PuertoRicoTipoff.com for more details. We mentioned that hot start, 6 out of 7 for Alabama. They're just 2 out of 12, Joe, since that start.
And you got to credit the zone defense. It's done a nice job of keeping the ball out on the perimeter. They bottled up Jermichael Green and Tony Mitchell inside. Mitchell had one layup against it off the Relaford assist, but overall the defense has been effective, and they're protecting Renardo Sidney out of the game with 2 fouls. At this point, won't put him back in.
The 3-point play by Bosk makes it a 4-point contest. Ooh, nearly a steal by Beenon.
Keeping a close eye on Charvez Davis.
And a push on the rebound. That'll go against Chris Hines, the senior out of Evergreen, Alabama, picks up his first.
One of the reasons Rick Stansberry doesn't like playing zone is because it's hard to rebound out of a zone. You don't have solid blockout responsibilities, but so far in this half, Mississippi State has rebounded very well out of the zone on the defensive end. If they can continue that, get Sidney back in the second half, this is going to be a ball game.
Here comes Davis. Green can't finish, but a foul and free throws coming up.
Yeah, you see Big John Reek there. He doesn't play a lot. He got caught out of position in the middle of the zone when the ball went to the foul line, and Jermichael Green, very savvy, a veteran player, a junior, drove right down the lane and got it all the way to the rim.
Jermichael 8th in the conference in scoring, 9th in rebounds, 5th in field goal percentage, 5th in blocks. Young man sat earlier this year. Have a little bit of a wake-up call, and I think it's something that has paid off big dividends for Jermichael. He's become a real leader on this team that needed some leadership.
He has, Dave, and Anthony Grant talked about the maturation process of Jermichael Green in this his junior season, that he is relishing being the leader of the team and the best player on the team.
Takeaway. Relaford back the other way. Davis. Hillman. Tried to bounce pass. A little too flashy, and Augustus takes it away.
Taking care of the basketball. That's what Anthony Grant talked about with his team today. And a little bit sloppy on the offensive end for Alabama.
Oh, big screen by Augustus. Little hip check. Anthony Jordan says, gotcha for that one in the open floor.
Well, you got to be stationary on the screen. Let's watch Cody Augustus. Yeah, you see him sliding in to Scenario Hillman there. Good call by Anthony Jordan. We've got an all-star officiating crew here tonight.
And you might be able to get away with that maybe in some traffic, but in the open floor.
Not out 30 feet from the goal where they're watching you with all eyes.
Davis won't go. He's missed back-to-back 3 attempts now, and Mississippi State down 6. And let's face it, Renardo Sidney, folks, played 1 minute and 20 seconds before he picked up 2 fouls. If Mississippi State can get to the locker room in single digits here, I gotta think that's a moral victory.
I agree 100%. It'll be interesting to see if they stay with the zone. I would suspect they will. And Sidney gives them that offensive threat inside that they really don't have with this lineup. Let's see if Davis can score in there.
Yes, he can off the window.
Lewis, I should say. Wendell Lewis. Wendell Davis was a wide receiver at LSU. That's who I got confused with.
See, it's a big football day.
It is a football day. I've got football on the brain.
Here's Relaford. And there's Lewis coming back. And is it Beenon or Lewis picking up that foul? Wendell Lewis.
First personal foul, 17th foul, State.
Wendell Lewis, we've talked about him being the threat inside, and you see him isolated down low. He's 6'8", about 230. He used his body nicely that time and kind of fed off of Jermichael Green. kissed it off the glass. They need to go to him a little more and try to build his confidence.
Relaford knocks down that first free throw. He's got 7.
Good looking freshman point guard right here. Really knows how to play the game. Great court awareness, penetration, knows how to run the show.
And a hand check on Andrew Steele as DeBoss was getting the head of steam up.
Andrew Steele now playing in his 8th game of the season, had some knee problems. Young man out of John Carroll High School in Birmingham. Of course, his brother Ronald Steele was an outstanding point guard here at Alabama a few years ago.
Playing over in Turkey right now.
That's correct. Yeah, he is.
Another takeaway by Alabama, a team that's gone 13.5 minutes with, 8.5 minutes without a field goal. They are 0 for 7 in that stretch, but they have knocked down all 6 of their free throws. And Jermichael Green snaps that streak. Alabama's back up by 8. 4:44 to go before halftime.
Bringing the full court pressure. Trying to force Mississippi State to turn the basketball over, create, as you said tonight, Dave, some offense out of the defense. When you don't shoot the ball as well, you're looking for other ways to try to score.
Rayburn Johnson. No good. Rebound to Steele. Up ahead to Relaford. Here's Boss back the other way. And a foul on Cody Augustus. And that'll be his 3rd.
Wow, that's big. Obviously, he'll have to go out of the game. Cannot afford to lose him. Mississippi State's really got 4 guys on their team that are the scorers that they look to. Augustus is one. Obviously, Sidney, who has not played hardly at all in this first half. DeBoss, and then, of course, Rayburn Johnson, who is 3rd in the SEC in scoring at 18 points a game.
Well, how frustrating must it be for Bernardo Sidney, who has to sit for a year and a half, played 7 games, and comes here on the road in a big SEC West clash, and he gets to play 1 minute and 20 seconds in the first half.
Got to be frustrating, no doubt.
But condition, I wouldn't imagine, would be a factor in the second half if you didn't play any in the first.
Should be fresh.
Yeah. Here's Boss working on Relaford. Boy, I've been impressed with Relaford's defense tonight. More than anything, DeBoss will have a chance. That's off the front of the rim. Jermichael Green comes out of there with it. Off to Steele. Mitchell. Boss. Well, he just seems to be everywhere. D kicks it out. Benoit. That won't go. Wide open shot for Riley. Relaford flying down the floor. Scoop shot won't go, but Green is there for the finish.
And that's how you beat the zone. Beat it down the floor in transition. Relaford got it all the way to the backboard, and then Green cleaned it up by sprinting the floor and exposing himself to the offensive glass.
Opens up a 10-point advantage for Alabama.
Watch him get all the way to the basket. He draws a lot of maroon shirts, and then Jermichael Green flies down the lane, cleans up the miss with the dunk. That's how you beat the zone defense. Beat it down the court by pushing the basketball.
Of course, another busy day on the SEC Network presented by Sun Life Financial. Beginning at 1:30 Eastern, Auburn at Georgia. Big Joe Dean will be at that game. South Carolina at Vanderbilt is the other game. You'll get either one of those. Be sure to check the listings in your area. John Jenkins having a great sophomore campaign. And then the game that many of you will see on the SEC Network, Mississippi State traveling to Baton Rouge, Rayburn Johnson. And I guess an LSU team that's trying to put it together. Injuries, depleted roster.
Yeah, their leading scorer, Ralston Turner, a young man from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, Played in his first SEC game last Saturday here in Tuscaloosa. He's a very talented 6'5" player for Trent Johnson's team.
Here's Reek to the basket, puts it on the floor, and puts his backside on the floor in the process. It'll belong to Mississippi State when we come back. Alabama's opened up a double-digit lead here at home.
Sun Life Financial has never taken government bailout money, yet no one knows our name. That's about to change.
So you'll pay for the tour, but I have to change my name.
No, you're still KC, but from now on, they will be the Sun Life Band.
It's funky.
Sooner or later, you'll know our name. Sun Life Financial.
Enjoy a complete seafood dinner for two for just $29.99 at Red Lobster. With fresh salads and biscuits, your choice of entrees, and an appetizer or a dessert to share. For a limited time at Red Lobster.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does it take two to tango?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How'd it happen to me? Well, I was getting ready for work and Hyundai is named America's most fuel-efficient automaker. Then I'm driving into the office. Whoa. And I'm at work, working hard. Next thing you know, I'm at the dealership and I'm buying a Hyundai. One problem. I didn't tell my wife.
Adam didn't tell his wife he got a new Sonata for $199 a month. See her reaction at AlabamaHyundaiDealers.com. The Hyundai Effect.
Dave Neal alongside Joe Dean on the SEC Network, presented by Sun Life Financial. Alabama leading the SEC with a 5-1 record. And part of the reason has been the exceptional play from their point guard, Trevor Relaford, who continues tonight.
He's had a lot of deflections, steals, driving the ball to the basket. We see him playing the passing lane. He's a very, very smart point guard who knows how to play the game on both ends of the floor, defensively making the steals, knows how to get to the lane, all the way to the basket, and then can give it up for assist to his teammate. Just a very impressive freshman point guard that is just having a tremendous freshman season.
Came in, one of the top 12 point guards in the country out of high school and living up to that reputation, playing a ton of minutes for Anthony Grant as John Reek will step to the free throw line. You see Relaford, 8 points, 4 assists, 4 steals. I would say that's a pretty effective first half, and we still have 2:27 to go.
Big John Reek, we've talked about him, 7'1" from Sudan, but he played high school ball down in Florida at IMG Academy down in the Sarasota area. And Rick Stansbury saw him looking for another player down in Florida and asked about him. And of course, he's a work in progress, to say the least. But again, you can't coach 7 feet. And those are the kind of guys that are worth taking a chance on. Rick Stansbury giving him some significant minutes here tonight in the middle of that zone.
Well, the big fill for his career was 11 out of 14 in free throws until he missed those 2. Not bad, 78% until a moment ago. Well, coming up on the Cellular South halftime report, Joe and I will take a look at some of the action going on around the league. We'll also look at some of Joe's players he thinks kind of fly under the radar a little bit in our Dean's List. And we'll have some highlights and stats for you here in our opening half. That's coming up on the Cellular South halftime report. Under 2 minutes to go. D-Boss tries to get the screen from Reek. Steele, long 3. Got it!
Rick Stansbury talked about Jalen Steele before the game, that he wanted to give him more playing time. A 6'3" freshman out of Knoxville Fulton High School. And you can see that young man's got some talent, can shoot it deep. taking advantage of his opportunity here tonight.
Averaging a little over 5 points per game. Here's Bost. Relaford high off the glass over John Reek. It'll belong to the Crimson Tide. Michael Green working hard underneath. Doesn't have much to show for it on that possession.
Now Mississippi State looking for offense, and Jalen Steele out of Knoxville led his high school team to 2 state championships. Buries a big three-pointer for the Bulldogs.
That's a 2 by Green. Won't go. The tapped in. How about Tony Mitchell getting inside over the 7'1" center for the Bulldogs, John Reed.
Tony Mitchell is as active on both ends of the floor as any player in the SEC. Very quick feet, always around the basketball, going to the offensive glass. Second in the league in steals, and we saw evidence of that right there on that offensive tip.
Shot clock down to 7. 3 seconds. Bost nowhere to go. Didn't get any help from his teammates, and that's a shot clock violation.
Another second time this half that Alabama defensively, as Rick Stansbury's telling his team to get into motion and not recognizing the shot clock situation and attacking the ball to the basket. Great defense by the Crimson Tide.
Boy, Rick Stansbury is not happy with his offense right now. He was calling for motion, and it looked like everybody was standing there.
They were standing. No one was moving. No one was setting screens. They acted like they weren't sure what they were running. And Rick Stansbury, Phil Cunningham there, his assistant to his left, talking to the players and trying to get them organized.
Coach Stansbury, the winningest coach in Mississippi State history, not happy with that last possession.
Yeah, you see the 5 Mississippi State maroon shirts literally just standing. Nobody's moving, cutting, screening for each other. And Alabama tightens up. Good help by Relaford there. The block by Mitchell. At that point, the shot clock had run out.
9-point game with 26 seconds to go. Once again, the story here is the fact that Renardo Sidney, only 1 minute and 20 seconds played before he picked up 2 fouls, and he has been on that Bulldog bench ever since. Cody Augustus also foul trouble. He's picked up 3 here in the first half. He sits. Relaford, 3 seconds on the clock. Off to Davis at the horn. Got it. That could be a backbreaker. The momentum goes the way of the Tide. 5:23 out in front. Remember, Alabama beat Mississippi State earlier this year, 75-57. That was really game number 1 for Renardo Sidney DeBoss, the new Mississippi State team, if you will.
Yeah, Alabama really caught Mississippi State at the right time to start SEC play January 8th. Boss first game out. Sidney had only played a couple and had obviously some issues over in Hawaii that have been well documented. But I tell you, Mississippi State has come back strong. Great win in Oxford against their rival Ole Miss, and then Saturday knocking off a very good Florida team.
Solid performance by the Bulldogs at home of knocking off the Gators. Here's Green. Ooh. Nearly cracked the side of the backboard with that 17-footer.
Well, let's give Renardo Sidney a little credit there on the defensive side. He contested that shot. Sidney at 6'10", about 275. This is where he's good right here. Oh, I tell you, he's tough.
How do you stop that?
Yeah, he is tough. He is a load inside, and they're going to go to him all night long. He'll have to be careful about creating any charges when he attacks the basket, but he's a very talented scorer in the low post.
You surprised that they're playing some man defensively with Sidney with 2 fouls?
I really am. I know Rick Stansbury, he's a little bit hard-headed. He wants to play the man.
Mitchell knocks down a 3.
Yeah, we'll just have to see if Sidney can stay out of foul trouble, and they're going to go to Jermichael Green and attack him.
So Augustus with 3 fouls. He's on the floor as well for Mississippi State. Here is Renardo Sidney. Spins again. This time left it a little bit short. Boy, Relaford flying down the floor.
I tell you what, Dave Neal, he is crafty. He is such a savvy player. He really knows how to get himself open around the basket on the drive.
Rebound to Mitchell as Bost misses the three. And before you blink, it's a 15-point game. A chance to build on that. Wow. Trevor Relaford. Sidney answers right back and hits the deck.
Running the floor off a made field goal. They get it all the way to the rim to the big fella. Nice job of offensive transition by Mississippi State.
Hillman misses the three. Look at here. Up ahead again to Augustus. Blocked by Mitchell. Hillman. Green. Augustus with that block.
We're going up and down, Dave Neal. Rick Stansberry is going to slow his team down this possession.
94 feet back and forth. Not good for Renardo City.
Exactly. Where's the oxygen?
Bounce pass right at Sidney's knees. Couldn't handle it. Relaford has it. It's a 1-on-3. He'll slow it down, at least for a moment. Charvez Davis wide open. Count it. That's 4 of those. Timeout, Bulldogs. A 12-point lead has become 18 in just over 3 minutes.
Enjoy a complete seafood dinner for 2 for just $29.99 at Red Lobster with fresh salads and biscuits, your choice of entrees, and an appetizer or a dessert to share for a limited time at Red Lobster.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Was Abe Lincoln honest?
Does this dress make my backside look big?
Perhaps it will. Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is having a snowball fight with pitching great Randy Johnson a bad idea?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe this was a bad idea.
Do you want to own a brand new HP, Dell, or other name brand computer and improve your credit at the same time? If so, Tronics Country says you're approved, guaranteed.
I wanted a new computer, but I couldn't get financed. Then I called Tronics Country. They approved me, delivered my new computer, and are reporting on my credit.
If you have an active checking account and can afford low, flexible payments, you're already approved, guaranteed, for this special offer. There's no credit check, so you won't be turned down.
Tronics Country approved me quickly.
I got instant approval, and it was easy.
Their flexible payment plans made it easy on my budget. And my kids are getting ahead in school.
I started my own business, and now I'm my own boss.
Call now, and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gifts shipped today.
I'm glad I called.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, call now to get the new talking meter. Arriva makes it simple. They bill Medicare directly. There are no upfront costs. And they deliver your supplies right to your door for free.
Trevor Relaford having an outstanding game for Alabama, a freshman, but obviously a leader. As you look at this Alabama team, only 4 players have scored. They're all in double figures, and we bring that up because last Saturday, Mississippi State only had 4 players score the entire game. First time that's happened in major college basketball, Division I basketball this year. Only happened twice last season, so it's a rarity. I think there might be a 5th before the night's over, but still, if you're only going to have 4 score, make it count, right?
Exactly. Well, they've scored 45 points already with 4 guys, so very effective. But I have a feeling somebody, Chris Hines is my pick to score a basket for the Crimson Tide.
But for Chris Hines, though, that is his 4th personal. He will...
Oops, I spoke too soon.
He may not have the chance.
That's right.
Anthony Grant looks at Hines and says, I'm going to let you in there, but no, you got 4. And Sidney went right at him.
Now, Sidney is a guy who's got all the assortment of moves down low. That time he spun to the baseline and shot the right-hand jump hook. Before we saw him turn middle and use his muscle to get it over the front of the rim. So a lot of ways the big fella can score. He has great touch and great hands.
Here's Hines.
Here it is. There.
You called it.
There we go.
There you go.
That's right.
He knew he saw JaMychal Green come to the scores table. That'd be his last chance for a shot.
Better get one up. Yeah. Better get one up. That's right.
Beanock wide open. Got it this time.
Good job by Riley Beanock, a young man who's 4th in the SEC this year and field three-point percentage right at 42%, which is very, very good. Over 100 threes in his career. He's a guy that needs to give Mississippi State some offense.
DeBost up ahead to Rayburn Johnson. Here's Beanock. Augustus wants it back, didn't get it. But DeBost says, I'll handle this. He knocks down the 3, and here come the Bulldogs.
Good shooting outside by both teams, you see. Very good three-point shooting. Charvez Davis has been the leader for the Crimson Tide in that category.
That's a 2 by Charvez Davis. Had a foot on the line. That was close to another 3 for Charvez. Charvez has 14 points. Big screen from Sidney. Bounce pass inside to Augustus. Off the window, too strong. And Hillman comes out of there.
Bernardo Sidney just backed out of the lane. Didn't even go to the offensive board. And he's a guy that needs to get on that glass to help his team.
Turnover by the Tide. Here's Bost. Rayburn Johnson. Davis the rebound. Bulldogs at 3-3 in conference play. Alabama at 5-1. Big Bernardo Sidney yanks down the rebound. Rayburn out of the corner. Fouled. 3 free throws coming up for Rayburn Johnson, the senior out of Lyon, Mississippi, out in the Delta, as his Bulldogs are down 14.
Over 20 million customers have put their faith in Sun Life Financial. We should be a household name, and we will be.
So you're suggesting that we change our name from Florida, the Sunshine State, to
Florida?
Yeah.
The Sun Life State. The posters will be so cool.
Sooner or later, you'll know our name. Sun Life Financial.
Office in the house. As the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 45, Papa John's is giving you all large pizzas for just $10. Plus, order Super Bowl Sunday and you could win free pizza. Go to the new papajohns.com for details.
If nothing's quite as tall, we say it's the tallest. If its strength knows no equal, it's the strongest. Loudest, longest, neatest, coolest, mostest. In other words, if it's the best, it's the est. Enter Charter Internet. Already with the fastest speeds, now with even more speed for free. Guess that makes it the fastest est. Try saying that 5 times fast. Announcing another free speed increase for Charter customers. It's good to be the fastest est.
Interested in dramatically increasing the energy efficiency of your existing windows? Let Solar Reflections install a custom-made window film product in your home or business that keeps the heat out in the summer and locks the heat inside in the winter, all while reducing glare and blocking up to 99.9% of the sun's damaging UV rays.
This is Hal with Mama Goldberg's Deli, and I just wanted to say that my experience with David and Solar Reflections was amazing. I've already seen a reduction in my power bill.
Tint with the best or fade with the rest. 205-937-2186 or visit solarreflections.info.
All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the SEC. Tonight, we take a look at this rivalry between Mississippi State and Alabama, one of the better basketball rivalries in this conference. Only 83 miles separate these two schools. Joe, you're a Mississippi State guy back in the day. You understand what this is about.
Well, no question about it. It's always been a heated rivalry since Rick Stansbury's been here. As I mentioned, this is his 13th year at Mississippi State as the head coach. He's 15-12 against Alabama, so he's really brought that program to a point where they're very competitive every year. They've won at least one or shared the Western Division title 5 of the last 8 years. And the other thing I think it's impressive about Rick Stansbury's job in Starkville, he's won not only an outright SEC title, but 2 tournament championships. Not a lot of guys have won 2 of them.
And of course, we showed you the tradition of Mississippi State and Alabama. What's your favorite? Go to facebook.com/champion and vote for your favorite tradition in the SEC. Do that today. There is Mio Stansbury. Just talked to her. 13+ years for Rick Stansbury as a coach at Mississippi State. I talked to her today. She's only missed 2 games. One because her mom had surgery, and the other one is because one of her children and her were sick. She said if one of us would have been healthy, she'd have gone to that game. But she's only missed 2 games, road and away, since Rick's been the head coach.
And she's very passive over there. Doesn't get very excited. Doesn't yell much.
Yeah.
She's over there standing up yelling right now. She loves it.
Here's Green. He's had a tough shooting night, has JaMychal. It'll belong to Mississippi State.
Yeah, they need to get Green down on the block, let him attack. In this case, Wendell Davis, the post player, the backup post player. Lewis.
Well, Wendell Lewis tried to attack. That time the rim got the better of that.
But it's a good job of going to Lewis inside. He's a big, strong, physical guy. And the only way he's going to get better is for them to go to him, give him some confidence, tell him to make a strong move. As you see Mio Stansbury there, the associate head coach.
And, of course, the head coach back in Starkville when they're at home. Steele. He knocks it down. Andrew Steele averaging a little over 4 points a game, but shooting 50% from the floor in his limited action, as Joe's mentioned, battling stress fracture in the ankle last year and then a knee to start this season. But coming around. DeBost, strong move, fouled, and will step to the line as JaMychal Green picks up his second.
Yeah, DeBost is a very gifted point guard. Watch the hesitation and the blow by right around Green, who was stepping out to help. A little late on the hedge was JaMychal Green, and that allowed Boss to take him on the dribble. The point guard against a 6'8" post player. That's a mismatch out on the floor.
Our Star Watch tonight featured DeBost and Trevor Relaford. Both guys have not disappointed. The 2 point guards have been major players tonight.
Well, you know, DeBost was a guy who put his name in the NBA draft last year. That's how good he was. Decided to take his name out. He was a couple of days past the deadline. The NCAA penalized him, I believe, 9 games for that. And he also had some academic issues that caused him to miss some games. His first game was the Alabama game, January the 8th.
Here's Green, another jump shot. I mean, if you're Mississippi State, You play pretty good defense. You force Jermichael Green to a 17-foot jump shot, but you don't get the offensive rebound, and Alabama burns you.
Yeah, and they rebounded pretty well in the first half out of the zone, and that time in their man-to-man didn't do the job blocking off the board.
Sidney catches it, what appeared to be below the rim, and then throws it down.
Yeah, Anthony Grant didn't like that play. We'll have a chance maybe to look at it again. It looked like the ball was below the cylinder.
Regardless, pretty nice move.
Very nice.
Bernardo Sidney.
You can see the ability this young man has. I mean, he is extremely talented with that big body.
Here's DeBoss back the other way. Augustus fouled. And he'll step to the free throw line. So Mississippi State was down a dozen at the break. Still hanging in there as Sidney throws it down.
Welcome back to Geico Radio. It's savings on the radio.
Kate from Mill Valley. It's all yours.
Well, I'm shopping for my first car.
Nice. I do hope you'll choose Geico, save a good bit of cash.
Oh, what color is the car? I bet you look great in a blue car.
No, actually, I'm torn between a fuel-injected inline-6 and a higher torque turbo diesel.
Yeah, that's quite a quandary. I mean, of course, you could save either way.
Yeah, but is one of them blue? Because I go with the blue one.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Avalon with Deposit Shield. The deposits that attack your engine every time you drive can cause friction, robbing it of performance and fuel efficiency. Avalon shields it. Because a clean engine runs better. Defend your engine. Avalon with Deposit Shield.
Starting a garden doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not when you have the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It does all the hard work for you. The Mantis Tiller weighs about 20 pounds. It's easy for anyone to handle. 3 convenient power options spin the patented tines deep into the soil. They dig down, cutting through the hardest clay and tangled weeds. They're so tough, they're actually guaranteed never to break. And on our 2-cycle model, Mantis offers the fast start engine option. It's our easiest starting 2-cycle tiller ever. Tilling, weeding, and cultivating have never been easier. And now you can get this amazing Mantis Tiller Cultivator at huge savings. Order now, and we'll include a kickstand accessory, this border edger attachment, and free shipping. Use the Mantis for a full year, and if you're not delighted, return it for a prompt, no questions asked refund.
Call 1-800-783-2116 today for a free DVD and information kit. That's 1-800-783-2116.
Alabama's lead is 11 on the SEC Network. Crimson Tide trying to go to 6-1. Mississippi State would like to go to 4-3. Let's go back and take one more look at the Renardo Sidney catch and dunk, and we both agree this is a good shot.
Yeah, the ball is short of the rim. Sidney caught it outside the cylinder and then turned and flushed it in. Thought that was a good no call by the officials. Renardo Sidney having a big second half with 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting.
Played in the first half 1 minute, 0 points. Second half he's played 7 minutes and scored 10 points. Is he a factor? I would say so.
No question. Yeah. You know, he had his coming out party against Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago, 24 points in Oxford. They haven't seen him shoot the ball from the outside tonight, but against Ole Miss and Oxford, he shot the ball extremely well from out on the perimeter. Mississippi State just kind of hanging around, down single digits right here, playing that man-to-man.
Mitchell left it short, but a foul against Alabama. Going for the rebound. Was that on Mitchell?
That was on
Jermichael Green.
Jermichael Green against Renardo Sidney. Yeah, right in the middle of the lane. Watch number 1 against number 1. There's the push. See him root him out with his backside. And that's the call. Good call by Anthony Jordan, the official.
Third foul on Jermichael Green. Here's Rayburn Johnson. Back to DeBoss, guarded by Charvez Davis. Sidney to the basket. Big man hits the deck, no whistle.
Green was open. Sidney was late getting back. Alabama couldn't find him. A little surprised they are not posting up Jermichael Green a little more in the low post and put pressure on Renardo Sidney down on that block.
Reaching foul against Johnson. That'll be his first. That is the first team foul of this half for the Bulldogs. How about that? There's 5 team fouls on Alabama, which is one of the reasons the crowd with the sarcastic applause a moment ago.
Yeah, you can tell Rick Stansbury talked a lot at halftime about his team's defense.
There's Jermichael Green going inside. Gets the basket.
Sidney just not effective defensively around the basket. I think scared to get that 3rd foul and allowed Jermichael Green to cut right in front of him on the underneath out of bounds.
Big spin move, but Green right there to reject it. Relaford back the other way in a hurry. Left it short. It'll belong to Alabama.
Jermichael Green is giving up about 2 inches and about 50 pounds to Renardo Sidney, but watch the rejection. Good length there by Jermichael Green. An extension on the block. Kind of defense that Anthony Grant, I should say, teaches here at Alabama.
5th in the conference in blocks is Jermichael Green, 138 in his career now.
Green's open inside. Here we go. There's the double. Nice.
Tony Mitchell.
Cody Augustus was guarding Tony Mitchell. He left him to go double team Jermichael Green. The rotation was not there. And a great pass by Green to Mitchell for the easy dunk.
Jalen Steele will give it back to DeBost. Boss comes off a couple of screens. Now here comes a pick by Sidney. Tried to get it back to him. Now it's Johnson. Fall away. Count it.
A little bit of a phantom foul right there by Trevor Relaford.
Rayburn Johnson, though, will step to the free throw line to try to convert the three-point play, and he left it short. Rayburn, a 76% foul shooter, couldn't convert, but still makes it an 11-point game. Jermichael. Renardo Sidney had it in his hands, but Mitchell takes it away.
And that's how Jermichael Green got 2 fouls on Sidney early out on the floor, driving him to the lane. But Sidney held his ground that time and blocked the shot. Nice play.
Charvez Davis can need to get a shot up. He does. Steele. Here's the 3rd opportunity for the Crimson Tide. Green down that baseline, working one-on-one with Sidney. No help comes, and he makes the Bulldogs pay as Sidney picks up the foul and a 3-point opportunity on the way. Jermichael Green doing some work on the interior. Alabama up 13.
With an A+ credit rating in good times and bad, Sun Life Financial should be famous. We're working on it.
So you're seriously proposing we change our name to Sun Life Valley?
Do we still get to go skiing?
Sooner or later, you'll know our name. Sun Life Financial.
Enjoy a complete seafood dinner for two for just $29.99 at Red Lobster with fresh salads and biscuits, your choice of entrees, and an appetizer or a dessert to share for a limited time at Red Lobster.
Attention computer shoppers with past credit problems. If you've had past credit problems and want to make a change, call now. All you need is an active checking account and you're approved for our program. Bankruptcy, liens, divorce, or job loss, it doesn't matter. You're approved. We'll get you that new computer you always wanted and report on your credit so you can start to get it back on track. Call now and with your paid order, we'll add a free color printer, free MP3 music player, and a free LCD TV. You heard right. Free printer, free MP3 player, and a free LCD TV. Call now and tell us where you want your brand new computer and free gift shipped today.
College football fans really get into it. We paint our faces, decorate places, plaster cars, have rivalry wars, throw tailgates, cover our mates, shed some tears, shout victory cheers, do the wave. It's what fans crave.
As a big fan of the SEC, I really get into college football. So do these little fans. We're all into it.
Mascot wear. Get into it.
Alabama up 13, second half hoops here in Tuscaloosa as we take a look at our Geico play of the game. Good offense by the Tide.
Yeah, good interior passing by Jermichael Green. And watch the double team. Augustus leaves his man to go double team right there. And then you see number 5, Tony Mitchell, cut to the basket. The rotation is not there by Rayvern Johnson to seal that play off. And Jermichael Green, with eyes in the back of his head, finds Tony Mitchell across the lane for the easy dunk and our Geico play of the game.
Jermichael Green with another double-double. It is his 5th of the year. That'll tie him for 4th in the SEC. Cody Augustus leads the way with 7. 18 career double-doubles for Jermichael Green.
Good look at Tony Mitchell there. You see his numbers. I mean, a guy that's so active, Dave. He scored. We saw him with the dunk. Second in the league in steals. Very high field goal percentage. He's in the top 10 in that category. Having a very good night tonight for Alabama.
As is Green with 15 points. Renardo Sidney still on the floor. 3 fouls for Renardo. 14-point game. It was as many as 18 here in the second half. It was a dozen at halftime. Nice little pass underneath, but that shot is blocked by Charvez Davis as Steele couldn't get it down.
Well, good offense and good defense. A good pass by Sidney on the layup. Charvez Davis with the defensive play. A little better.
Augustus stops and fires. In and out. It'll belong to Alabama.
Yeah, the Alabama defense continues to be so effective contesting shots. Charvez Davis, the block there, his 2nd of the game. Nice recovery. He got beat on the back door, but recovered nicely to block the shot away.
Remember, this Alabama team 5th in the country in points allowed, 56 points a game. Opponents in this building in their 11-game win streak here at home average less than 50 points a game. 49.5 points a game for the opposition against the Tide in this building. Air ball, Bost has it. Long pass to Renardo Sidney. Great hands by the big fella, and then drew the foul.
Well, if you're Mississippi State, you're down 14. You want to push the ball in transition. Look up the floor and see what's available to you. And that time, D. Bost threw it up to Renardo Sidney on the run. Now watch Bost. Head is up. Sidney's running the floor. Nice look ahead. Great catch by Sidney. Muscles it to the basket and draws the foul by Green. He is a big load down there by that hoop.
4th foul on Jermichael Green. Renardo Sidney to the line. Can't convert. Renardo on the year. 25 out of 33, 75% coming in. Tony Mitchell checks in for the Tide. Green takes a seat. And Sidney good with the 2nd.
Sidney played high school basketball in Jackson, Mississippi. That was the connection to Mississippi State, but moved out to Fairfax, Virginia in the LA area to play his senior season.
Here's Hines. Missed the dunk. That could have been a 5-point swing if that three goes down. Instead, Alabama dodges one. Here's Charvez Davis, gets that screen from Hines. Little pick and roll action. Back to Davis. Alabama's offense not as fluid as this half as it was in the first 20 minutes.
They're a little bit out of sync. You're exactly right. Not sure about trying to go inside. Everything's out on the perimeter.
Davis, 3 on the shot clock. Off balance shot. Got it. That's the night it's been for Charvez Davis, who's got 17, 5 of them behind the arc.
Well, Dave, I'll tell you, Alabama is so good defensively. When they shoot the ball well from the outside, and they've done it here tonight, they are a very good basketball team, and they're going to be a threat in the SEC race.
Count it for Cody Augustus, and he will step to the line.
Well, again, the Alabama crowd was trying to help their team, counting down the shot clock. Charvez Davis, the fall away, buries it.
Davis with 5 3-pointers tonight. You know, in a game against Lipscomb this year, he had 5 out of 6 from behind the arc. Also had 5 threes against Toledo when he had 21 in that game, had 22 against Lipscomb. Now he's double teamed and calls a timeout. So Alabama takes a timeout, up 13, under 5 to go. And Alabama fans, be sure to plan your trip to San Juan, Puerto Rico for the 5th annual Honda Puerto Rico tip-off, November 17th through the 20th. Watch the Crimson Tide battle teams such as Maryland, Temple, Purdue, and more. Visit PuertoRicoTipoff.com for more details. Well, around the Southeastern Conference, you know, so much made of the SEC in November, December. Is the league down? Well, 4 teams, Joe, in the top 25 of the ESPN Inside RPI, I think makes a statement right there.
I agree with that, and I think the SEC is very, very balanced. We can't say right now who's going to win the SEC championship. Don't really know who's going to win either division, and I think that makes this particular season in SEC basketball very, very exciting.
Alabama, a surprise team, 5-1, leading the conference, best overall record. And Tennessee, 4-2 without Coach Bruce Pearl. They have played the toughest schedule in America. And they have been very impressive in a 4-game win streak at the Vols. Relaford, strong move to the baseline.
Yeah, great move by Relaford, but just a breakdown defensively. Boss let him go, and then no rotation at all in the Mississippi State man-to-man. Yeah, let's watch D-Boss number 3. He just loses sight of Relaford, tries to overplay that pass. Cody Augustus not in position to stop the baseline drive.
Steele, double clutches, got it to go down. Hines had to stay away. He's got those 4 fouls.
Good-looking freshman from Mississippi State, Jalen Steele. Nick Stansberry talked about him as he commits the foul, but they wanted to give him more playing time. Young man from Knoxville, Tennessee, who has a lot of ability, and he's looked pretty good here tonight off the bench.
So that is the 4th team foul against Mississippi State. So they have some fouls to give. Do you start using those right now, Joe, to try to get Alabama to the line?
I wouldn't this early. I think they need to wait a little bit, but it's something they'll consider as they get inside of 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Charvez Davis is so much improved as he throws the ball away. I was getting ready to brag on him, but a very improved player for Alabama, certainly shooting the basketball.
13-point lead for the Crimson Tide.
Game day is upon us, a showcase for the best, for those with pride and passion who rise above the rest. It's a day of magic moments when every second counts, and game day's even better when Papa's in the house.
As the official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 45, Papa John's brings quality to the millions with all large pizzas just $10. Now through Super Bowl Sunday at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
I shouldn't say, if you give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key.
Where'd you get that app?
Cellular South has countless free Android apps.
Do you mind?
Oh.
They're less down the street. See?
Where'd you get that app?
And only from Cellular South, the ever-evolving Discover Apps app helps you find the right apps for you.
That's really cool.
Buy one Android-powered Samsung Galaxy S, get one free. Now at Cellular South.
This is a public announcement. CNNMoney.com reports that in some areas of the country, buyers are scooping up homes for as little as $1,000. Foreclosures are at an all-time high. Government and private banks are liquidating these homes now. If you currently rent a house or apartment, you may call now and learn how to receive your free list of these homes. All others may call tomorrow. Every house must be sold. This is a public announcement.
Call 1-800-590-6974. That's 1-800-590-6974.
Eli Gold here. We're proud of Ford's automotive ranking and the success Town & Country Ford has had during our first 11 years.
We're excited about our new Ford products, and we want to make 2011 our best year ever.
At Town & Country, our goal is to make every Ford affordable during our Fordathon.
Get huge factory rebates, the highest trade-in allowances, and best financing.
Come by today and let us show you how we'll make your new Ford affordable. Town & Country Ford, big town selection, low country prices.
Tonight's SEC Network game has been brought to you by Sun Life Financial, annuities, employee benefits, life insurance. Get free pizza on Super Bowl Sunday. Go to papajohns.com for details. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Puerto Rico tip-off, November 17th through the 20th in San Juan. Back inside at Coleman Coliseum. Big Al, happy. His club's up 13.
Dave, I had a chance today to take a tour of the things that the Alabama Athletic Department's doing with this Coleman Coliseum. Brand new locker room, weight room, training room, redoing the practice facility in the back for the men's basketball program with a new weight room there. Very, very impressive. John Gilbert, the Associate Athletic Director, gave me a tour, and the University of Alabama, Mal Moore and his staff making a major commitment to this basketball program under Anthony Grant's leadership.
Rick Stansbury can't believe his guy was the last one to touch it. He's on the floor. Tony Green says, back it up. Gerardo Sidney didn't like it either, but not much they can do about it at this point. By the way, Mississippi State also building practice facility over there in Starkville right now.
I'll actually be over there next Wednesday night. I'm going to get a chance to see that. Looking forward to it.
Michael Green gives it right back to the Bulldogs. Down 13. Mississippi State trying to get a little bit of offense. DeBost off the back of the rim. D now 2 out of 7 from behind the arc. He has 4 out of 14 from the field.
Well, that's Mississippi State's strength is three-point shooting. They're one of the top teams in the league. And if they shoot it well, they can be very, very good on the road. Not always easy to knock down a bunch of threes on the road.
Third in the conference in three-pointers made, 150. Alabama with 13 turnovers, as you saw. They are last in the conference. They cough it up more than anybody. That is the 4th team foul against the Bulldogs. So still a couple of more to give before Alabama shoots free throws as we approach 3 minutes to go in this one. Steele. Entry pass.
There's the double again. Sam exact play.
Boy, those two are on the same page. Jermichael Green hitting Tony Mitchell.
When the double team comes, a third player's got to rotate down. D-Boss number 3 is that player. He's going to be late getting to the baseline to seal off the pass to Tony Mitchell. And again, Jermichael Green sees his teammate across the lane for the assist and the three-point play.
That could have been a backbreaker for the Bulldogs. They've had a couple of chances here, but they've just not been able to get it to go down the last couple of minutes. Dump it inside to Augustus. He'll kiss it off the window, and Cody Augustus now with 9 in the game. It'll belong to Mississippi State.
Good pressure that time by Mississippi State up on the sideline. The fans thought that Charvez Davis got pushed. No call, and the Bulldogs now need to start knocking down a couple of threes to get back in this game.
Overall, Bulldogs 5 out of 15 from behind the arc. They'll go inside, get to 2 for Augustus. Will now reach double figures with 11. That's 4 Bulldogs in double figures. Led by 13. D-Bost has those.
You see Boss denying Trevor Relaford the ball. Offense doesn't work as effectively when it's not in Relaford's hands.
Augustus picks up that foul, and that'll be his 5th.
Good matchup with 2 of the guys we talked about in the Dean's list. The underrated players, Tony Mitchell, Cody Augustus, going head-to-head. Augustus is out. Tony Mitchell having a nice ball game today. Good all-around floor game for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Here's Mitchell, pull-up jumper. That won't go. Sidney can't handle it. It'll belong to Alabama. 1:55 to go.
You know, Sidney with 3 rebounds in this game, and of course didn't play much in the first half. But one of the interesting things I noticed about Sidney, he's not had a double-figure rebounding game this season, and that's a statistic that to me is a little bit of a red flag with him. He's got to be more of a rebounder on both ends of the floor for the Bulldogs. 6'10", 275 pounds. He's a great scorer. Needs to improve his rebounding.
And he has great hands.
He really does.
He should be able to pick that off the iron on most occasions. Here's Relaford just trying to chew up some of that clock. Spins, kicks it out to Mitchell, who will fire with 4 on the clock. And knew it the moment it left his hands. Tony Mitchell with his 12th 3 of the year.
I tell you, I would describe him one way. He's tough.
Yeah.
He's just tough. Does a lot of good things on the floor.
D-Bost with the layup. I'll tell you what about this Alabama team. 6-1.
Yep. Best record in the SEC.
They started 5-6. They will now have won 9 of their last 10. Their only loss in that stretch was to Arkansas in Arkansas. I mean, this is a team now that's starting to make believers out of more people than just here in Tuscaloosa.
Well, they've got the point guard play. We've seen that, albeit he's a freshman. But Trevor Relaford is a basketball player. They're getting good inside play from both Mitchell. Jermichael Green has really grown up this year, become more mature. And if Charvez Davis can shoot the basketball consistently the way he has tonight, Alabama's going to be a team to be reckoned with. 6-1, going on the road. They're going to Tennessee Saturday, and then the following Thursday, they'll be at